everybody, welcome back to an episode of the 3 Count. I'm War Machine MJ, the greatest second place champion, and I am here today to talk about Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live from MSG. Let's go ahead and jump into it, shall we? We kicked off the show with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah, the Texas Rattlesnake came out to mediate the contract signing between Braun Strowman and Seth Rollins. He introduced Braun Strowman first, who, looked kind of geeked to stand in the ring with the Texas legend. Even stuck his hand out, and Stone Cold's like, still gotta be all business here, as he announced Seth Rollins, who once again proved that he's a dork, and even, made the hell yeah sound uncool. So yeah, they both put pen to paper. Then the OC come out. AJ Styles started with "He don't want none," but then he started insulting Stone Cold Steve Austin. And then all 5 men got scrapping, Stone Cold not included. AJ Styles knocked Seth Rollins out of the ring, turned around and sold the absolute out of the Stone Cold Stunner. Anyway, next up, we came back from commercial to Cedric Alexander versus the previously stunned AJ Styles, who is still selling a stun for the better part of this match. Halfway through the match, when Cedric got rolling, Styles came to, shut him down, and then towards the finish, when Cedric was getting ready to put Styles away, the OC interfered, which led to a big brouhaha between the OC, Cedric Alexander, and of course, War Raiders. Let's see. Next, they would announce later on a 10-man tag team match. The team of Seth Rollins, Braun Strowman, Cedric Alexander, and the War Raiders against the OC, Dolph Ziggler, and Bob Roode. Next, we had Becky Lynch and Charlotte teaming up against Bayley and Sasha Banks. I mean, this was a pretty good match. They had MSG eating out of the palm of their hand. But in the end, my future ex-wife Becky and Charlotte got the win, with Charlotte putting away the former hugger. Next, we had a return to form for Rey Mysterio against Gran Metalik. This was a fantastic match. Too bad they did not give it enough time. Rey Mysterio put away Gran Metalik, so who knows where they're going from there. Then, triple threat action for the final Raw slot in the King of the Ring tournament between Baron Corbin, who MSG was kind of on that love-hate relationship. He was taking on Ricochet, who everybody loves, and Samoa Joe, who everybody loves. This was a really good match. Baron Corbin had a fantastic showing in this match, but in the end, he took advantage of a 6:30 Samoa Joe, got the victory, and he will move on to next week's King of the Ring finals. Next, we had a decent match between Natalya and Lacey Evans, where Natalya put away the lady of WWE. We'll get to the Firefly Funhouse later. Yeah, we closed out the show with the 10-man tag team match. Pretty serviceable match. Heels won, faces won, but the big moment was Cedric Alexander got the win. I believe he lumbar checked AJ. Yeah. He hit AJ with the lumbar check, And before anything could happen, Stone Cold's music came out. And, yeah, if I can get my words together, he shared some brewskis with the rest of the face team. So yeah, that's how we closed out Monday Night Raw. Next, Firefly Funhouse. Yes, such a good thing that it's going to take up its own segment of the show. So yeah, not much to say about this episode. Of course, the residents of the Funhouse were freaking out about stranger danger, stranger danger. There's they were basically being paranoid because Stone Cold Steve Austin was there, and Bray Wyatt just basically said, "Hey, a rattlesnake's gonna do what a rattlesnake does." And of course, they brought up the alarm clock being stuck at 3:16 since Stone Cold arrived. Bray Wyatt smacked it with a hammer, and it said 11:19, which a lot of people speculate it's got something to do with Undertaker since Undertaker debuted for the company November 19th. Yeah, November 19th. But didn't officially debut on TV until 3 days later. So, speculated with that. The part that killed me about this was Bray's last line, because he was going on a spiel about how Braun Strowman and Seth Rollins took everything from him. And then he just capped it off with, "See you in hell." Beautiful delivery. As far as 24/7 title shenanigans go, they started the show off with, or before the show, they had Owens. I think his last name is Owens. He plays for Malcolm Celtics. Yeah. Anyway, I forget what he was talking about. R-Truth came in there and just shifted in fanboy mode. Owens Cantor, I think that's his name, rolled R-Truth up. He is the first NBA 24/7 champion. R-Truth rolled him up to secure number 15. He's on his 15th title reign. So yeah. Now we move on to SmackDown Live from MSG, where we started the show off with Undertaker doing his usual Undertaker spiel. Been here so many years. Dig holes, take souls, go home. Get mad about a match. Anyway, out comes Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn just kind of said, why don't you just go to the back, let the superstars of today handle everything. And while Undertaker's back was turned, Zayn decided to mock him. Taker got in the ring, dropped him with a chokeslam. That's it. Next, we had The Miz taking on Andrade. Of course, The Miz is going to be challenging Shinsuke Nakamura at Clash of Champions. Anyway, speaking of Shinsuke Nakamura, he was at commentary, and every time he got asked a question by Saxton, he would just speak in Japanese to confuse Saxton. Anyway, towards the end of the match, Miz threw Andrade into Nakamura. And once the Awesome One put away El Idolo, Shinsuke got in there and beat down the Miz. So yeah, next was Next was Mandy Rose coming out and cutting a promo on Nikki Cross. An unnecessary but awkward promo where she basically said, "You'll never look like me." Just kept running Nikki Cross down. And of course, Nikki Cross ran down for their match, and she beat that ass. So yeah. Anyway, Next, we had Heavy Machinery defeating some jobbers. Yeah. Then we had Eric Rowan coming out there and basically clearing up all misconceptions we had about him. And then him and Roman got into a fierce brawl where they just beat the heck out of each other. Yeah, there's no motivation, so why should I care? They just didn't know what they were doing with this. Anyway, next up we had Bayley defeating Ember Moon. Not much here. It's just Ember Moon calling Bayley out on her recent actions. Next, we had a segment where Kofi recalls his first go around at MSG, where he boom dropped Randy Orton's ass through a table. Randy Orton called him stupid, 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 prompted Kofi to go over there, and he got laid out because Orton had a steel chair. And then he laid out Orton on a second table after the first table just kind of just went into business for itself. So yeah. Kofi putting Orton through this table didn't really feel spectacular. It did the first, it felt great the first go round, but this time I didn't feel it. Next, we closed out the show with SmackDown's King of the Ring Finals qualifier. As Chad Gable was supposed to face Elias, but he was out with a legitimate ankle injury. So Shane McMahon told Chad Gable that he'd find an opponent. And a little ways into the show, he told Chad, he's like, "Hey, I found your opponent. It's me." So those two would be the match. And then Shane O'Mac called Kevin Owens into his office, told Owens, "Hey, I'm going to waive your fine if you do a job for me." And gave him the referee jacket. Basically said, "I'll waive that fee if you do the job to the best of your abilities." Except for he missed the nudge, nudge, wink, wink. So yeah. McMahon versus Gable with Owens as a special guest referee. So right out the gate, Chad Gable goes for a roll-up. Looked like Owens did a fast count. Chad Gable was advancing to the King of the Ring finals until Shane had the match restarted as a 2 out of 3 falls match. Or, I think it was 2 falls. I forget. He restarted it. Yeah, 2 out of 3 falls. Anyway, yeah, afterwards, it was a clinic from Chad Gable. He got beat down, of course, and Kevin Owens kind of screwed him over as ref. But yeah, in the end, Chad Gable caught Shane McMahon in ankle lock, and Kevin Owens was, just like, what am I supposed to do? And without Kevin Owens doing anything, the referee rings the bell because Shane's tapping. So Chad Gable's going to next week's King of the Ring final. Afterwards, Shane McMahon just beat down Kevin Owens. I'm sorry, I was boring it. Anyway, he beat down Owens, fired him, and then beat him down some more. So yeah. That's how SmackDown ended this week, with Kevin Owens getting canned. Yup. So, yeah. That does it for today's show. Remember, if you like Rod's opinions but hate his ugly ass face, he has a podcast. Prime Talk with Rodimus Prime on the CastBox app. Go check it out. He talks about college football, NFL, wrestling, and, well, just about every other sport thing he does on his podcast. I'd go check it out, but then again, I don't give matter of his opinions most of the time. Anyway, that being said, I'm War Machine MJ, the greatest second place champion of the brand, and I will see you guys later.